Most people know the catalytic converter as that chunk of metal cops are always warning you gets stolen from under your car. But the real treasure is what's inside. Tiny amounts of platinum, palladium, and rhodium that are worth more per ounce than gold. So why are catalytic converters even worth refining? Here's the deal. Up to $400 in precious metals can be extracted from a single typical converter. Multiply that by hundreds or thousands, and you understand why people risk jail time for stealing them, even when crawling under cars is no one's idea of fun. Catalytic converter refining, though, isn't just dumpster diving with a chemist's hat. The main pain point is figuring out how to separate the valuable metals from all the ceramic honeycomb and base metals without blowing yourself or your whole street up. Step 1, and this is every recycler's least favorite part, you have to smash up the honeycomb interior. It's literally called a monolith, and trust me, breaking it down is a dusty, lung-blackening experience. You want a hammer and a mask, not necessarily in that order. Next up, you grind the chunks down into a fine powder, almost like baking flour, but instead of cupcakes, you're angling for precious metals. And this step matters. The finer the powder, the more uniform your chemical reactions will be later. Sloppy milling means leaving money behind. Now comes the chemistry, where things get spicy. You usually use a process called smelting or leaching, where high heat or strong acids break down everything but the valuables. If you're using acids, you better suit up. Skin-level burning isn't the worst part. Inhaling fumes can put your name on a headstone. One big pain point here, dealing with the toxic leftovers. Nobody ever talks about what to do with gallons of spent acid or buckets of slag. Any professional operation will handle this with real safety and legal protocols. If you're just a guy in your backyard, you might end up accidentally funding your neighbor's hospital bills. Once you've got your metals dissolved, it's time for precipitation, the magic trick. You selectively add chemicals to grab palladium, platinum, and rhodium out of solution one at a time. Some days you feel like a wizard. Other days it's just watching expensive sludge settle to the bottom. Dry the precipitated metals out and you're staring at a powder that's nearly pure. But, and this is a big but, selling it is not like posting on Craigslist. Legit buyers only want product they can verify, and they'll often charge fees or take hefty margins. You lose like 10 to 20% just in conversion. Pro tip, one of the fastest ways to get burned, literally and figuratively, is to trust someone offering top dollar before you assay your material. Always get an independent analysis, or you're basically gambling at a rigged table. Nobody wants their precious metals to just disappear. If you're thinking this all sounds like it requires a PhD and a death wish, you're not entirely wrong. Most people just sell their converters in bulk to recycling companies. Still, some folks do home refining. Bad idea, unless you like your neighbors angry and your lungs crispy. And finally, remember, the law is not your friend here. Refining catalytic converters is legal if you own them, but the moment you can't prove ownership, you're an unintentional felon. The fines can end up costing more than the platinum. Be smarter than the average thief. Document everything. So, is catalytic converter refining worth it? Maybe, if you play it safe, stay legal, and don't mind a little risk. The clever part is recognizing how much value gets tossed away by people who never look past the dirty metal shell. There's modern gold rush energy in every parking lot if you know what you're doing.